It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, April 11, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 63,000 subscribers on this platform, we say hello to you. Hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube, tell a friend about us. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon, my friends. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It is the weekend that we call the Masters. It starts today and it goes to Sunday. So forgive me if I'm distracted. I'm only watching golf.
Absolutely. A little bit of a rain delay earlier today. They had a delay of about 4 hours. They got on the course at about 10:30. A little after that, teed off. So lots of golf to be played. But in this day and age, and I know the streaming people will come at me, but how is every hole of the Masters not televised?
Yeah.
How is every NFL game? Like, how do we still only have one 1 o'clock game and one 4 o'clock game sometimes? You know what I mean?
They want you to pay.
Depending on the weekends. But you should at least have 2 1 o'clock games, 2 4 o'clock games. That's not too hard to ask.
I agree. You know, I'm a guy that avidly loves golf, man. I play it all the time. So when the Masters comes around, this is my chance to sit around and watch the best in the world have at it in Augusta. And to only see certain holes, you have holes 13 and 15, only see certain groupings. That's the best way to do it, but you got to go to ESPN Plus. You have to have ESPN Plus, and then you can follow the groupings that you want. But who wants to stream everything?
Right.
Golf should, like you said, be available. NBC has golf sometimes, but it's at certain times. It's not for the complete day.
Right. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, buddy. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, fellas. One of these days that
He hates golf, by the way.
well, yeah, I hate golf.
Tom Mazaway hates golf.
Is Tiger Woods playing?
Yes.
He is.
All right, so
He
let me.
is.
I'll follow if he's still
He
in there.
tees off at 3:45.
I'll watch a couple of holes.
I saw a tweet today. He's the biggest liability for the sports books this week. Tiger Woods. He was plus like 125 to 1.
Wow.
And
took a bet.
just under 6% of all tickets are on Tiger Woods to win the Masters.
you kidding?
Nope. Isn't that something?
So-
and apparently he is playing great golf.
So a buck wins you 125.
Yes.
That's worth it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Put 20 on.
I like
Exactly.
$20 on
I like
Tiger.
that. Hey, man, to me, he'll always. He's golf. To me,
He is.
He just is.
I got goosebumps watching. So yesterday he was practice round, and he makes a putt or whatever. He grabs the ball, and somebody in the stand says, "Hey, Tiger, I'm open." And you know, at the Masters, you're not supposed to yell
Right.
stuff,
Nope.
right? But Tiger turns, looks, throws the ball into the crowd, and the guy, like, it was a great throw. Guy catches the
Yeah.
ball.
Tiger's an athlete.
It was a golf ball, obviously.
Right.
And it was just a great moment. And you're reminded every single time this guy tees it up at the Masters or wherever, it might be the final time you are watching the greatest player ever to do something.
Yeah.
You know what
Like
I love about
there have been many
Oh,
greats.
yeah. You're right.
There has never been somebody as good at golf as Tiger Woods. Nobody has taken a game and elevated it to a space that it is now as Tiger Woods. And you could be watching the last time he ever plays in the Masters.
Nobody's better at their job than Tiger Woods. Like Michael Jordan was a better basketball player. You can go down the list. No one was the best Tiger. But you know what I love about this story, Ryan, is you love how life takes over later in life. Now Tiger's a lot more calmer. He's a lot more open. He talks to people. It's the kids. It's raising his son, Charlie. That's the reason why he's smiling and tossing that golf ball at that guy. Because you know if this was 10, 12 years ago, Tiger's not tossing anybody anything.
Right.
He's laser focused. He's dialed in. It's kind of like Kobe's last season when he was playing with the Lakers when he did the Kobe tour. Like in every city, he was playing, having fun with people. So, yeah, it's
What was
coming
it,
to the
5
end.
years ago that he won?
2019,
Yeah.
2018, 2019, yeah.
Yeah, 5 years, man.
Yeah. I mean, Phil Mickelson finished second last year. You know, the old guys can play on this
I want
course.
him to win, too.
So we'll see what happens. Guys, big news today. I think all of us were kind of shocked when we heard the news that O.J. Simpson passed away today. His family sending out a tweet post on X. This was the post on April 10th. Our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren during this time of transition. His family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. That is from the Simpson family. Judgment Day for O.J. Simpson today. After all the judges and all the juries and all the speculation, his final judge was yesterday. Yeah. Judgment Day for O.J. Simpson was yesterday. One of the most complicated stories, one of the biggest stories in the history of America was O.J. Simpson and everything that went through it. There are those things, Braylon, that happen, I think, in somebody's lifetime, and you can't imagine that people didn't experience it the way we did. You know, you forget, 9/11, right?
I was just thinking 9/11. The same thing. I remember where I was at.
Seniors in college today were not even alive on 9/11.
The freshmen in Michigan.
That's incredible to understand. Most people in this building right now have no idea what June 17th, 1994 brought.
What?
And that was, the car chase.
Oh, that was the car chase.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible to me
years.
because if you were alive and you did experience it, I turned on the clips today, Bray, and it takes you immediately back to where you were when that white Bronco was in the slow-speed chase down a California freeway.
Man, I was 11 years old, just moved back from Atlanta to Detroit, living literally a little bit down the road here, and it was crazy to see the whole thing. It was crazy how much the country divided at that time. Still being young, naive, Ryan. I mean, I was 11 years old. That country divided in half once the situation started, and definitely once the verdict got rendered. Not guilty, Orenthal James Simpson.
And Braylon, I was on your side.
Yeah, 100%. I was too.
I mean, as crazy as it may be, you watch that trial, and you have to assume, and if you weren't alive at that time. Right. There's no way to recreate how big of a star O.J. Simpson was at the time.
He was it.
You can't. You could talk to me about Taylor Swift. Yeah. You could talk to me about LeBron James. There was no bigger star, in my opinion. Tom, feel free. Than O.J. Simpson.
I would say Michael Jordan was much bigger, but O.J.'s different. There was nobody that walked in both worlds.
Yes.
Like that's just
that was why.
And now they call it crossover music, where you can pop and you do rap. Nobody had crossed over like O.J. He could be in the white world and the black world just like that. That's what it was. No one was doing that.
There was a quote that he said over years where he said, "I'm not black. I'm O.J." It was just like this one of one person that was larger than life. You couldn't imagine this guy with that smile and could do that.
And it was so crazy because even when you didn't like him, even if he was a black person, when he said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ," you're still cheering for him. He's on TV. He's on movies. He's rushing for 2,000 yards in 14 games. The other side loved him as well. He spoke the language. He went to USC, which is an elite institution, university. So, like, he was just winning from all angles. Hertz commercials, like Naked Gun we talk about all the time. And just OJ had the world in the palm of his hands. And
if you go back to that time, many black women at that time did not like O.J.
They were the only ones, yeah.
Because he married a white girl.
100%.
Then the trial happened, and everybody went to their corners, it felt like. Except, I think, for the most part, football fans. Football fans, white, black, Asian, whoever, if you were a football fan, O.J. Simpson was innocent.
I think anyone that knows me knows I was the biggest O.J. fan.
Yeah.
The biggest. I loved him. Absolutely, he was my hero growing up. Got all his football cards. I probably have 10 rookie cards of his put away. And how he changed on a dime. it's the most unbelievable thing I could ever think of. And you know what? Over a woman.
Money and women, by the way,
It's
are the two things that
women
get
is
men
undefeated.
in trouble.
Women
Women are number
women
one.
are undefeated. They are undefeated.
Let me ask you this question. Being on that side, I know what Maz says, so I'll come to you. Like, do you still feel the same way you did after the verdict back then? Do you still think he's not guilty?
No, I think he's definitely guilty.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree, too.
I think he's definitely guilty. I think what happened at the time, though, was
L.A. riots, Rodney King,
it was
mismanagement.
It was an incredible time.
Yeah.
It was a perfect storm of society. It was a perfect storm of policing.
True.
It was, coming on the heels of the L.A. riots to witness, white cops beat Rodney King to within an inch of his life, for Johnny Cochran and Bob Shapiro and all these F. Lee Bailey and for all the attorneys of O.J. Simpson to say, okay, juxtapose that what you saw on camera. Now, can you imagine this white officer that is on tape using the N-word multiple times?
Mark Furman.
Could you imagine him planting evidence and spilling a little bit of blood on O.J. Simpson's sock? Could you imagine that, jury? And at the time, the answer is
Yes.
yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes, I could. There's no question about it.
It was, they just mismanaged all the information. Like, it was a horrible job by the prosecution where they left the blood in the car and he overheated. You can no longer use it. The way they allowed Mark Furman to be their star witness. Meanwhile, he's on file, not only using the N-word, talking about Judge Ito's wife, using some slur about the judge's wife. And that's who you guys chose. It was a horrible operation that they ran.
It was on television, man.
Right.
Yeah.
First time you watched
Every
a case
episode.
like that on television. It was
Started
must-see
court TV.
Yeah, look at these numbers. Are these the numbers?
Yep, Joe
Look at
Concha.
these.
Joe Concha tweeted out some viewers for the slow-speed chase, 95 million. Viewers for the verdict, 100 million. And that's, June 17th, 1994. He talks about the documentary, The 30 for 30. There is no narrator there.
No.
It is all of the things that happened on that day.
It's fantastic.
It is, I think, one of, if
It's
not
riveting.
the best documentary that I've seen in the last 20 years.
And OJ Made in America was
That was fantastic.
that was fantastic as well.
Yeah, that's the same. You talking about the same one, right?
OJ Made in America?
Yeah, same
Is
one.
it
No,
different?
then a
That's
30 for
different.
30.
Oh, the 30 for 30. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a 10-part.
Oh, you
Cuba
talking about
Gooding
you talking about FX?
Yeah,
The one that came on FX.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Courtney B. Vance.
Actually, there's a 5-part documentary.
That's ESPN.
on ESPN.
Yeah.
There's a 30 for 30,
Yeah.
June 17th, 1994.
That one.
And then
There's Made in America.
Made in America
then the
on
ju-
FX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 different OJ Simpson things.
Like Travolta plays Shapiro.
Yes.
Right.
I'm Googling how many people in the country
At the time.
in 1995.
Think about this. The other day we talked about 18.9 million people watched the basketball game.
Right.
You just said 100 million.
Well, okay, to put this in a bigger perspective, there's 325 million people in the country right now,
Yeah.
roughly. Back in 1995, 265 million
So
people
almost
in the
half.
country. So almost half of the people in the country
Sheesh.
sat before a television set and watched the verdict.
I think that number's low, to be honest with you.
I was
100 million? That's low.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me there's not more than
Right.
100 million people watching that damn thing.
Gotta have a TV.
Yeah.
Al Cowlings, the driver.
It is wild. Some of the get some of the people involved here in the WoodwardSports.com chat. Swag King says OJ definitely got what was coming to him. If it only happened sooner. A couple of ones about Jared Goff. The juice expired. Never found his wife's killer, says Max. Yeah, so there's some good ones here. Detroit Dabber says, that's just blatantly false, Ryan. Plenty of football fans thought he was guilty, I'm sure. But
course.
many of them.
How many of them were rooting for him to be innocent?
Right.
I was.
Right, absolutely.
Honestly, I was.
So, and really, I heard John King on CNN today, one of the great terrorism experts of our time. John King talked about how that trial changed the way evidence was collected.
Oh, hell yeah.
for police departments all around the country, because they used to just send, whoever, like a team of people in, you collect it and you get out of there. But no, that changed the way.
They destroyed that evidence, man. Destroyed
It's the weirdest death ever.
It came out of nowhere.
People are looking at this and they're worried about what to even write. There's some people that want them to go to hell. Yeah, just go right to hell. And then there's other people that.
Well, I don't think there's any question he got away with killing 2 people.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I love Mass.
Jeremy Schaap, did you see what Jeremy Schaap said today?
I did.
ESPN.
He basically said, "I don't feel anything."
I want to pull up what he said.
Son of Dick Chap.
Yep.
Son of Dick Schaap.
He was part of that whole thing back then.
Yeah.
And of course, I can't find it right now. But he said, "Oh, here it is." He said, "Anyone who has seriously looked at the evidence would have come to the conclusion that he was a murderer. And so, am I filled with sorrow today? I am not." And I think a lot of people feel like that when it comes to O.J. Simpson. I had no idea he had cancer.
I heard about it, but I didn't know it was that bad.
And I said that to somebody today, and the reply was fantastic. They said, "Well, we knew he could keep a good secret."
Yeah.
He tried to tell, and he tried to tell us. Even the book, just little things. Right. He just kept poking at you. Like, especially once he got out of jail and he got a Twitter account, which I'm not gonna say it's funny because it's terrible, but at the same time, like OJ was just always poking the needle. Back in California, he's like looking for the killer. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, OJ, like go sit down somewhere.
Right. You wonder what. Maybe it's just me. You ever wonder what happens now? Like,
of course.
Yeah, if you're O.J. Simpson, you died.
Supposedly you go to purgatory, you hang out there, you do an interview, and then you go up or you go down.
You killed 2 people. You were found not guilty in a court of law, but again, I think anyone that could objectively look, even if not objectively look at the evidence presented in the case for the most part, knows that he killed 2 people. And he died yesterday. What happens to his soul then? Yeah. Do you go to hell? You know what I mean? Where do you go? Am I the only one that thinks like that?
I do.
No. Yeah.
What is the lights turn off? Just
right.
That.
You ever see the movie Ghost? Remember in Ghost when Patrick Swayze goes and all the light and the angels come and they
swoop him up,
and then the guy, the friend who kills him,
the demons took him.
The demons take him.
Yeah.
Choke him out.
They were scary back then too.
And that's what a lot of people are looking at today, right? They're looking at the demon coming down and grabbing him. That's what a lot of people are putting out there. There's a lot of people that don't feel bad today.
You should ask right into the chat. What side are you on? Do you feel bad or not?
Well, I think and
listen,
maybe,
if there's a sports heaven,
mm-hmm.
he's my guy. He's in sports heaven to me. The man, I love the athlete, O.J. Simpson. I always love the actor, the showman, O.J. Simpson. But the man, you can't love.
So half is somewhere and half is enough.
Hoof-Hearted said that I wish he would have confessed at the end there. And you know what? We'll never know. Maybe he did to his family, or maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe that secret is buried with him. I think pretty much that secret died with Robert Kardashian when Robert Kardashian walked when he died for sure. But
walked out with that bag.
When he walked out with that bag right in front of everybody in
the Louis
Blind
Vuitton.
Day, the Louis Vuitton bag that really carried out all the probably clothes and maybe even the murder weapon and everything like that. Just
I forgot about that.
That bag he got back from Chicago.
Walked out with a bag, looked around, got in the car, and drove off.
That was on Netflix. The third night.
Where do you think that bag went?
I think
we'll never know.
We'll never know. Never know.
He took that down to PCH, threw it in the ocean.
Yeah. Incredible news, though. Guys, we'll talk to Dave Burkett coming up at the top of hour number 2. Dave Burkett, one of the negative beat writers that Jared Goff hates so much, but we'll get into that next. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
All right, everybody, it is Wake Up Woodward time. Here, you can hear it right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Join the big star, Matt Broder, along with his other co-hosts, and that would be Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, JB, and KG. Again, that is Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, right here, 8 to 10 a.m. on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, and we shall return.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out at your own pace with no one bothering you. Also, we know your fitness is essential, so we make it easy for you. Come on down and it's only $10 a month. And now with 50 locations around Metro Detroit, you can experience the squeaky clean gyms that Planet Fitness now offers. Come on down where your fitness is essential.
I have this, like, I probably need to drop it pretty soon here because I'm going to hopefully be in Detroit for a long time. But I have this thing with our local media where, like, they almost, like, relish in negativity at times. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what gets clicks and that's what sells. But it's no longer what they need to live in. Like, right. Hey, guys, like, we have a good team. We've had success. Like, we can be happy about that. We can celebrate that and not have to write about how, like, we're constantly the underdog. Like, no, like, teams are going to be gunning them for us now. Like, we won the division and all that. And I'm probably overthinking it in my head just because it's the chip on my shoulder and the competitor in me. But in that moment, I was just giving that guy a hard time. I actually really like him. But
I think that's great.
I literally have no idea what he's talking about.
I do.
You do?
I do.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
He's talking about how we are as fans here. We are so whipped and beaten.
By the way, that video came from Lions Fan Report. I just wanted to give him courtesy.
Yeah, actually, but the actual podcast was Will Boat. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right.
Okay. So what he was saying, what I think he was saying, what he meant was, we can't help but be negative. It's the way we are. It's the way we've been brought up. As Lion fans, you went to one NFC championship game in your entire franchise history in the Super Bowl era until last year. You didn't win a Super Bowl. You haven't been to a Super Bowl. People were like, what? What do you mean you haven't been to a Super Bowl? No. We're one of 4 teams that have not been to a Super Bowl. We're the last remaining original, actually, besides the Cleveland Browns, who were reborn as an expansion Browns team. How are you not bringing that up when you're interviewing Jared Goff? Hey, Jared, we're doing great, but you know what? We've never been here before. You know what? We've never had a guy take us here that much anymore. That's all I could take out of what he's saying. I don't think anyone is saying, hey, you stink, we stink. No, we won 2 playoff games last year at home, and came within a couple of minutes of getting to the Super Bowl. But I believe media here in Detroit, all of us, there's not a positive guy here. There's not. Because look what they've given us in 60 years. Look what they're giving you. That's what he means. That's what he's feeling, at least. Because even me, I can't get over the hump of saying, yeah, but I can't help it. That's my take.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely what Jared Goff is thinking when you hear, well, they're still negative here, and they're thinking like this and they're thinking like that. I think basically it's true, but I got advice for him. The truth part of it is exactly what Matt's saying. Like, even now, after they got to the NFC Championship, what did you hear? Dan Campbell should have did this. They shouldn't have did this. Josh Reynolds has butterfingers. Well, when they got blown out by the Baltimore Ravens, Jared Goff can't pass the ball outside. What happens when he lost to the Bears? So I think he's an individual that focuses on bad things. I think he utilizes them and he uses them for motivation. And I think he needs to get out of that space. A lot of it is true. We're still talking about, is he the guy for the job after winning 2 playoff games? There's a lot of people saying, should you have gotten a player here? Should you have done this? We're always going to ask that or analyze that because we're fans and we're analysts. That's our job. Their job as players, which used to be my job, it is no longer. Their job is just to play the game. Stop worrying about what analysts are saying or what reporters you don't like. You don't have to read it. Just go out there and do your job.
Can I just say, first of all, people say the dumbest stuff on podcasts.
We just talked about it yesterday.
I think for the most part, when people get on podcasts, they're trying to say something that is going to stick out. And I think that's what that was. I think maybe he really believes that. I don't know. I've lived here my whole life. I'm 45 years old. I've been a Lions fan my whole life. I understand the negativity. I don't think I read of, let's say, the last 100 stories I've read in the last 18 months on the Detroit Lions, 85% of them are glowing, positive stories on the Detroit Lions. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe you get a couple of, and I don't think it's negative to attack the final decision by the head coach to not kick a field goal. I don't think that's a negative thing. I think that is what people do when you debate, did you make the right call or did you make the wrong call?
Those are Monday morning quarterbacks.
I don't think that's being negative. Did we want Jared Goff replaced the minute he got here? Yes. Did we want him replaced after a 3-13-1 season? Yes. Did we want Jared Goff replaced after a 1-7 start or a 1-6 start in year 2? Yes. But after they went on that run and during the run of an 8-2 start and all off season leading up to the win against Kansas City,
it's been all positivity.
85% of the stories on the Detroit Lions have been positive. Maybe even that's a low number. So I don't subscribe to this Lions media is negative. Maybe you get a beat reporter. Maybe you get a columnist that asks a question that you don't like. Maybe, okay, that happens. We're all human. It's part of the job. We're all trying to write stories. We're all trying to get clicks. We're all trying to get paid. Right. Everybody's trying to get eyeballs on something. You're trying to write what sells. Maybe that does sell. You get one article here and there. Does anybody want to pay Jared Goff $55 million? Most people don't. That doesn't mean we hate Jared Goff. That just means, you know what? Not really how you go about building an NFL team. You either got a Hall of Famer or you got, a rookie guy, right. Rookie contract guy. That's 9 times out of 10. That's who is going to win the Super Bowl or make the Super Bowl. If you've got a guy on a rookie contract, quarterback on a rookie contract, or a Hall of Famer, very few times is that quarterback an in-between guy. So, I mean, I just think it's wrong. I think it's false. I don't think there's ever been more positivity when it comes to the Detroit Lions or any other franchise, by the way, in this city than the last 18 months of the Detroit Lions, coverage of the Detroit Lions. In fact, I would venture to say last year, let's just take the last 12 months. The last 12 months of stories regarding the Detroit Lions may have been collectively the most positive stories, the best goodwill coverage that any franchise has received in Detroit in 30 plus years in this city. Overall, from beginning to end of a season. I mean, I think back of those going to work Pistons, and they'd get hammered for the Eastern Conference Finals losses and
Nets, Pacers.
Yeah. I mean, the Red Wings, the coronation season in 2002 perhaps was probably pretty darn good, but it was you better win the cup now. You got 25 Hall of Famers on this team, so it's a kind of a do or die situation with winning the cup, and that was more of a relief than it was,
overjoyed.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's when you win and you feel relief. Maybe
this is how he gets himself pumped up
and
by saying what he said.
And that's what I said.
Yeah,
you take it with a grain of salt because it's said on a podcast. Everybody says dumb stuff on a podcast.
You don't think LeBron? You don't think LeBron? All these guys, Kareem, Michael Jordan. You don't think they take people's comments and I'll show you? That's how athletes are.
Yeah,
Braylon, that's how you are.
We saw that in The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, and I took it personal, 100%. I agree. He uses these things. He uses them as motivation. I mean, there are some truth to some things. It's probably maybe it's the stuff about J-Mo. Maybe he doesn't like what he hears about J-Mo. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You don't have to live in that world. The world you live in is the world where you're 12-5, where you're the Kings in the North. You won the championship last year, or at least you won the division. Excuse me. You won the division last year. You got a team that might be better than it was last year when you got there. So don't get on these podcasts and let me point out. This is him getting a chance to address the media in Detroit for things that have happened probably not even last year, not even like you said in the last 12 months. It's probably an article here, an article there. It's probably a tweet here, a quote there, but mostly stuff from when they were 3-13-1 to the team that time they were 9-8. But this is his first time talking, and he's getting it out in the open. So if that's how you had to get it out, congrats, you got it out. Now move on.
He's obviously friends with these guys, Wilbo Trading Cards. He's there. He's relaxed. They know him. I think they've interviewed him in the past.
Yeah.
So he's comfortable. He's just chilling out.
It's like Aaron Rodgers sitting with Pat McAfee.
Right. He's sitting high on the hog, man. He's sitting there like, I'm going to make $150 million here.
Right.
I reinvented myself. So what's he got to do? Throw a little stuff out there on Detroit.
And I'm not mad if this is it. If he's there at one time, he had to get it out of school. It's fun. I like it.
He's going to have to answer to this. We're going to have Dave Burkett on a little bit. He's going to have to answer to this. I'm interested to see what Dave Burkett would say.
Wojo and Carlos and all those guys are going to be.
I want to hear what he says.
It's going to be interesting, too, because is this a thing with Jared Goff like it is with Brad Holmes? Brad Holmes gets up there, and he gets to talking. He gets to remind you. He hasn't done it. Brad Holmes hasn't done it once. He's done it on numerous occasions, reminding you of things that the media has said, or things that people and journalists have said.
Dan Campbell, too.
Dan Campbell, too. So I wonder if this is just their thing. It works for him.
Even in Kuma says, y'all at Woodward are the chill ones, too. No need to get defensive over comments. Probably more so directed at 97.1. And I understand that, too. I mean, look, I don't. Maybe they see I'm sure they see our clips because all these guys are on Instagram and all social media, and we are a social media company, so perhaps they see our clips. We know players have seen clips. Thanks to some of the relationships that we have in the building
they
here.
Also hold those buffoons too.
Absolutely, but I gotta even say, you'll never hear me defend 97.1. I'm not here to do that. I'm sure they have some hosts there that take shots, whatever. Even Mike Valeni, okay. Mr. Negativity, King Negative, Mike Valeni has been nothing but positive about the Detroit Lions for the last 12 months. Mm-hmm. That's just a fact.
How do you not be positive?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I just don't even understand what he's kind of talking about.
I'm wearing my Lions gear in Florida last week.
Right.
Yeah.
People come up to me. We were really rooting for you. Keeneland, I'm wearing Lions gear. Man, we loved you. We were really rooting for you. You guys should have been in the Super Bowl. I'm talking women and men. If you're wearing Detroit Lions gear, you are beloved now around the country. We are truly becoming America's team. It's really, it's amazing. I love it, and I'm here for every minute of it.
It's so funny now because obviously I never played for the Lions. I'm from Detroit, but never played for the Lions. Played for 4 other NFL teams. I almost feel guilty now if I wear a Jets jersey on the show.
Yeah.
Or a Jets hoodie.
Well,
or
look
a
what
Jets
they do to
t-shirt.
me when I wear different
And I
teams.
played for the Jets.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing the Lions hoodie right now. I didn't even play for them though, but that's the support that you get from the city. I mean, hey, he got it out. He got it off his chest.
Tony says, yes, I am trying to get the chat more involved because you all say you want the chat more involved, so I am trying my best to get the chat more involved. My guy, Detroit Dabber, says, yeah, Ryan, cherry picked that one. I don't know what you're talking about, Dabber. My head is so busy when I'm doing this show. For me to add this chat into the mix now is like is like ADD on steroids, okay? I look down, I see something, it's constantly scrolling, and I'll read it out. Tony says, Pat Caputo, Rico Beard, Carlos Monarez, Chapman, Rieger, by far the worst. I mean, I'll take your word for it. Ever since we got this into this job, rarely, I might dip in once in a while on my way home, but that's it. Maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Max. I don't hear any of those other guys. I mean, big ups, Ermanni. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm trying. We might need to open up the phone, says Python Knight. Well, we're just trying.
Let's open them up.
We're trying.
They work.
Do they work?
They work.
Mike, you know how to do that? You good?
I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
I can't hear. I'm sorry. I don't know if what did he say?
Sorry.
He could take a phone call.
Oh, he could take a phone call?
Yes.
What the hell? 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322 if you want to call the show. Feel free. Lou says Ryan can read.
Lou.
Barely.
Hey, Lou.
Yeah, but
Got some
people.
mouths in the chat.
Absolutely, but a lot of people have a lot of different comments about who he was talking about. I mean, and maybe it's one instance. I don't know. I know there was that Wojo interaction during the playoffs. I forgot
remember
specifically what it was about, but I think he told Wojo to take a chill pill or something like that. Maybe that's what he was referring to. I don't know.
He also said he liked the guy.
He's got a history, though.
Yeah.
'Cause, he did. Like, they had a little talk about it, but didn't something happen with him and, like, Miguel Cabrera?
Who?
Wojo.
Me and Miguel
No,
Cabrera?
not you.
Oh.
You said Wojo. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
So, I don't know, guys. Either way, all right, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. If you want to call the show, feel free to do so. If not, we'll go to a Top 10 Thursday. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Tom Mazaway.
All right, Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery if you need it. They also have nutritionists on site and on call if you have any questions about your pet's needs. Give them a try. Do not settle for less. Give your pet the best. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Where's the most convenient place to get that?
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Shake Shack and Woodward Sports want to remind you that football is all season long, and now you have an opportunity to win 2 tickets. That's right, 2 to the Detroit Lions home opener. All you got to do is enter the quarterback challenge. Scan the QR code on the screen right now. It'll get you entered and registered, or go to woodwardsports.com. Or even better, how about you take yourself to Shake Shack, where you can get one of those Chicken Shack Shake Shack sandwiches. They are amazing. Pop on in right away, and also use promo code Woodward, and you might be in for a surprise. But make sure you register for 2 tickets. City Kings of the North opening home day. Doo-doo.
Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Pete Spivak. We got Mike over there. Good guy Mike, I like to call him. Good guy Mike.
Silent Mike.
Silent Mike.
Silence.
And good guy Mike. Sometimes
guy.
the mic is so silent we
She gets in there.
love you, buddy. It is Top 10 Thursday. Dave Burkett coming up top of the hour in about 20 minutes from now. So in the meantime, Braylon Edwards, you have the floor. We were bringing him back. We had cap or no cap.
Yep.
Now we got Top 10 Thursday.
We put Braylon to work.
We did.
I love going to work when it relates to Cap or No Cap or Top 10 Thursday. Today is the Top 10 Thursday. And I was figuring it's been a while since I really assessed the draft, so I went and watched some film and came back with my conclusion who I think my top 10 players are in the draft. Not where players are going, just my top 10 players in the draft. I got some surprises in there for you, Tom.
Let's go, buddy.
All right, let's go. Let's start off with number 10, and that takes us to 6. We'll go Gerard Verse out of Florida State. He's one of the guys I like before the season started. I told you about him, All-American. He's a guy, shorter arms, man, but he gets to the quarterback. His moves are explosive dynamically, kind of like what was it? It was the outside linebacker, Kalijah Kancey from Pitt. Reminds me of Kalijah Kancey, but I think he's a lot stronger and a lot faster. Number 9, Byron Murphy II out of University of Texas. Byron Murphy, big solid dude inside, stout guy. He's the type of guy that you can get a guy like Aiden Hudson, put him side by side, and they really can rock things and make things happen. He wreaks havoc. He did all last year too. Cooper DeJean, there's your boy.
Woo!
There's your boy. He made the list. Top 10 players.
I'm shocked.
I'm telling you,
Thank you.
Maz, you had me go back and watch some film on Cooper DeJean, man. Like, he's explosive. He's an explosive player. He's an explosive, even in the tackles, the way he tackles. He gets downfield. He's a hustle guy. But also, man, he has athletic ability. He can be on both sides of the balls. Kick return ability as well. It's about the more you can do, and Cooper DeJean can do a lot.
I can't believe that you went back and watched
I went
it
back,
today.
man. You know what? I had to look. I said, my boy adjusts all the time. You adapt. Why don't I adapt? I
Thank
went
you,
back.
buddy.
You know, when
I
it
like
comes to
DeJean.
Cooper DeJean, it is interesting, and even Quinn and Mitchell, how you can evaluate these guys. Like, and I'm giving the scouts credit here for a minute, because I don't know too many quarterbacks outside of JJ in the Big Ten that were worth anything, or for that matter, in the MAC. How do you evaluate prospects like a Quinn Mitchell coming out of the MAC? You know, is it just all measurables? Is it all speed? You know, you do that cone drill. I mean, you look at tape, but it's not like you're playing Caleb Williams every week. You know,
Right.
Like, so what does your tape say?
The Big Ten was weak.
The Big Ten was weak.
Yeah.
You know any MAC quarterbacks coming out in the draft?
Not really.
No. So you're not. You didn't play against one pro prospect.
Yeah. True. But then what happens, I'll give you from the receiver side of it.
Yeah.
Now, just being a wide receiver. If I'm sitting here and I'm watching some tape on a wide receiver and he plays in a week conference or whatever, I'm watching how does he run his routes? How fast are his feet in and out of his brace? Does he catch with his hands, or is he a body catcher? I'm checking the little strike off for being a body catcher because I know he's going to drop some passes. If you're a hands catcher, probably going to catch more of your passes. I'm looking at when do you look for the ball on deep routes? Do you look too soon? Do you stop your routes? Like, so you can assess things like that and say, no, this kid has the package. This kid not only runs a 4.35 or insert whatever crazy speed these guys are running. Not only does he have that, he has these other things as well to match the stats to go with the 1,500 yards. He's not just some guy out here that's raw, just had a hell of a season. He actually knows how to break the game. So that moves you from the back of the first round just off pure potential to now that moves you up like Marvin Harrison to where I'm considering drafting you fourth when I can get a haul because I know what you're going to be.
And I'm not don't say that to knock these players.
No,
I
not
think
at
they're
all.
good players too. What I'm saying is more of a pat on the back to the scouts that do this stuff. That really evaluate these players, that take all of this information into account and try to place each guy on a board, top to bottom.
It's so funny. A little quick about Cooper DeJean, and we'll get into Rome Odunze.
You got time.
It's all right, 100%. Is a lot of people are now jumping on Cooper DeJean because they saw that basketball highlight tape released of him.
Yep.
Which is funny. Like, you think white guys in the NFL mostly is, edge rushers, offensive linemen, so not necessarily the athletic deal, if you will. You see that footage, and now all of a sudden you see basketball player, and he can hoop, and he can dunk, and he can move like that. You instantly give him another level of credibility or validation with athletic ability, which you should. That guy's explosive, and I think that tape showed it to a lot of us. Number 7, if you will, Rome Odunze, the wide receiver out of University of Washington, on a team that had a lot of talented players. A lot of guys are going to be in the NFL. He was the best one. We saw him firsthand in the national championship where the University of Michigan Wolverines took down his Washington Huskies.
And they really shut him down, too.
They
defensively.
Did. He got by him a couple times, just couldn't make the plays. Some overthrowing by Penix. That's why I took Penix off my board. I watched him, and he struggled in that game. But if Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors, who we'll get to, if they're not in the draft, Rome Odunze probably your number 3, probably from moving up in terms of wide receiver. He'd be the number 1, clearly. Rome Odunze is a baller. He can make plays. Quinyon Mitchell. This is what you're talking about, right? It's a guy out of Toledo. You wouldn't think Toledo could produce a cornerback, let alone that could be this high up that draft board. But he's just simply that. He hasn't allowed a touchdown since he's been in college. It's once again similar to Sauce Gardner. When he came out, no touchdowns allowed by him. Everybody, we don't know. But then once you start watching the tape, once you start assessing that ability that he has, and you start to mix it with the size, and then you start to mix it with the strength and the skills and the drills, you start putting that together. And you said, this guy can play. It doesn't matter that he was a Toledo Rocket. Guy can play, and he can be the next Sauce Gardner, who last time I checked, he was first-team All-Pro as a rookie. That's what these guys are looking for.
And, this guy, Quinyon Mitchell, too, has just rocketed up the boards. No pun intended there, with the Toledo Rockets. But this is a player that I think a lot of people are excited about, maybe even saying he's the number 1 defensive back in this draft, or could have the best career of any defensive back taken in this draft.
Here's another one of those stats, Ryan. You say it's the new age, the analytics. They come up with all these stats. He has the best coverage metric of any cornerback ever tested so far in the area of PFF. The best cover metric means in terms of plays he's given up, yards he's given up. Exit velo. That is, or war.
Hey, is that Byron Murphy II related to Tampa's Byron Murphy?
Tampa back in the day? Yeah. I believe so.
It might be his son if I'm
gotta look it
the
up.
right guy.
We gotta look it on up.
All right.
Who do you like so far? We've got to Quinyon Mitchell. We've gotten to the top 5 right now. Ryan, is there a player in here that screams your name and you wish Detroit somehow occupied that guy?
Well, if you just look at where draft prognosticators have these guys going, I mean, Cooper DeJean is in the late teens.
Yep.
That probably is the closest player in relation to where the Lions pick.
Okay.
All of these other guys will probably be gone, in the top 20, I would say. And
he's always moving up.
That's just it. If you did have to move up for a player, I don't think you're gonna move up that significantly to get a guy like Quinyon Mitchell. I think cornerback, defensive back is an area of need for this team. I do think they're looking for help there. I would not move up for any of these players. Like move up.
Okay.
But if you're telling me I had to, I would move up for DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
Because he could dunk a basketball while he was in high school. Clearly.
I like it. All right. Give me the next 5, if you will. Number 5, Brock Powers. I would have him rated higher if he didn't get injured. You know how I feel about Brock. Man, he's a guy that can get inside. He's a smaller tight end. Kind of reminds you of a guy that used to play for the New England Patriots, not named Rob Gronkowski. He's fast like a wide receiver, but he also does block. Like him a lot. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. Number 4, the highest rated wide receiver last year, including Marvin Harrison Jr., was Malik Neighbors out of LSU, 4'3" kid. You saw his stats. He's electric. Part of the reason why Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy was off the hands of Malik Neighbors. Great body control when he's in the air catching passes. Those are the type of catches like Larry Fitzgerald used to make. He's also a speedster, too.
Can I ask you about Neighbors?
I talked to it.
Story a couple of days ago talking about red flags and this, that, and the other thing. We've seen that a lot. Last year it was with the defensive tackle from Georgia, Jalen Carter. Red flags. It obviously, I mean, the Lions passed on Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
They weren't going to select him, even though it was an area of need for this team. What do you make of the red flag issue with Malik Neighbors? Much ado about nothing or much ado about something?
Much ado about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think much ado about nothing. At this particular time, things tend to come out trying to deter potential draft status. I think the same thing, like you said, with Jalen Carter came out. Seemed to have a pretty good year last year with the Eagles, finished second runner-up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I believe that it is nothing burger, but I will have to do more homework to get back with you on that.
I'll tell you, the media really does control a lot of these kids' lives, huh?
100%.
All they got to do is throw something out there. And it could be unsubstantiated stuff. It could be one guy that told another guy something. You throw it out there, all of a sudden, media picks it up, and guys start dropping, man. That had to happen. That's had to happen. Look what it did to Randy Moss. Look what it did to Dan Marino. Those guys are top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Instead, they go in the second half of the draft.
And then, too, this is like these are ploys that other agents these are tactics that other agents use in order to move their client up. Trust me, I've seen it before, and I've heard it before firsthand from individuals that are in the league or that were in the league. I'm getting a little older. You'll get a guy like, look, was it Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and some other wide receiver? Hey, look, this came out about Malik Neighbors. You'll get one agent, give it to somebody, give it to one of his press situations. They release it. Now maybe his guy goes higher. Maybe this guy drops. It's all little dumb stuff like that, but it's the game.
Yep.
It's the game they're playing.
It is crazy that it's games with this
just a big
20-year-old life.
Yeah, a big
game,
mouth can change a kid's future.
Right?
That's nuts, man. Number 3, Joe, all out of Notre Dame. We know the type of linemen they produce. Just look at the center for the Detroit Lions and Frank Ragnow. Also look at Zach Martin down with the Cowboys. He's just following that Notre Dame line. Like, I think he gave up something like 1 sack in 3 years, considering he played Ohio State all 3 of those years and some other big teams. That's just what Notre Dame does. They put out great offensive linemen. 2-time All-American, if you will. Number 2, I've talked about him a lot, Marvin Harrison Jr. He goes to that other school, but, man, is he electric. He was open a lot this past year. They just didn't have time to get him the ball. I mean, he was solid. Like, as solid as a 2-year career that you can see in this sport at the wide receiver position. Look at his name. You know what he's going to be once he gets. He's bigger than his father. He's faster than his father. And he's also running routes like his father now. Like, he's going to be polished already.
Do you have a comparison for Marvin Harrison Jr.? And you can't say Marvin Harrison Sr.
No.
Well, he's better than his dad.
No, especially at this point.
Yeah.
Dad's a Hall of Famer, by the way.
This is true. And he will be too if he stays on trying to get drafted by a team that can actually get the ball out. He's a deceptive body, man.
Because I'm trying to think, like, when I think of wide receivers in the NFL today, I think of Justin Jefferson. I think of Jamar Chase.
He's like a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins hybrid.
Yeah.
Like, if you take what Jamar Chase has done, what you've seen him do, dominate games, run routes, get open, really good feet, really good hands, and you mix that with T. Higgins, a little bit taller, a little bit boggy, goes up for the ball, puts his body in great situations, and really good at the sideline. You mix those two together, you get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's a compliment.
That's a pretty darn good player.
I think he's as close to a sure thing and Joe Alt, right?
I would agree.
2 sure things right there.
I would
haven't seen a quarterback
agree.
yet here except
it's only one. Because these are and when you do them, it's not a mock draft, it's the best players. Quarterbacks, like, it's like, you had a lot of talent, or you had this, or we didn't get a chance to see what you could fully be in the case of J.J. McCarthy. So you're not going to be as high on this list. The only quarterback that's on this list that deserves to be is Caleb Williams, based off everything that he did in college and what you saw completely how bad that defense was and how he still was able to make plays. Everything was a shootout, which means all they had was Caleb Williams, and he did win the Heisman 2 years ago as a junior. So,
hey, if these quarterback-hungry teams didn't need a quarterback, your top 10 would fit their top 10.
100%.
Right, because they're jumping Drake May. They're jumping all these guys up because they're desperate.
Only two guys
for
on there.
odds.
Only two guys on there that I kind of took a chance with was Cooper DeJean. Like Cooper DeJean on most pulls is ranked a little further back,
Sure.
maybe 17, 16, 15. But I like him a lot. And then I want to say Byron Murphy the second. I think I got him in that spot. But other than that, I like these guys. This is who I think are the
Nice
best
job.
players in the
Nice
draft.
job, right?
It's a nice job. You know, the Brock Bowers thing is funny too because, like I said, he would have been the top prospect.
Man, what
Coming out after maybe a freshman year or certainly
Someone's
after
gonna
a
get a
sophomore
last
year.
year. Yeah.
Certainly last year would have been maybe even the number one non-quarterback pick.
And then Bryce Young,
How about
C.J.
that?
Stroud, Brock Bowers.
You know, like number one non-quarterback pick. Like who will be the number one non-quarterback pick this year? Will it be Marvin Harrison? You know, will it be Joe Alt? You know, I think I think that's, you know, if I was a rookie, that's what I would try to negotiate too, by the way. Like the quarterback is always going to go number one, and now we're seeing quarterbacks probably going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
Trying to get a little extra.
Try to get a little bit extra. If I'm the number one pick, that's the non-quarterback position. That's what I would. That's what I would say.
They're going to tell you, no, you're pick 5.
Slotted in, no doubt about it. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, expected to be joined by the great Dave Burkett. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Pete Spivak.
That's right, everybody. You got good news, and I have bad news. The bad news is that insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, or visit SwissINS.com and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Also, you may want to head to shop.woodwardsports.com. Check out that new latest gear, my new background there. Check it out. Also, I'm going to throw up some pictures here for you guys. Check out the new shirts coming out here. We also have merch giveaway Monday starting. Check this stuff out, boys. This is good stuff, man. You got to head to shop.woodwardsports.com and get yourself some new Detroit sports merch. The latest hats, hoodies, and tees that are guaranteed to turn heads. All, again, at shop.woodwardsports.com. We shall return.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
And with the first pick in the 2024 media draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
All right, guys, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We're talking a little Lions football now with the great Dave Burkett, Lions beat reporter for the Detroit Free Press. Subscribe to the Detroit Free Press. Some great content there, and we appreciate Dave's time here. So, Dave, thanks so much for the time, buddy. How are you? Hello, Dave. Sorry, Dave.
We got you here somewhere.
Yeah, we're right here. We got you.
Okay. We're going to take a break and figure that out. I can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. We're going to figure this out. We'll do that next.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Are you there? Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Back. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, lesstanford.com, lesstanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And, of course, you could drive over to Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of our Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
We apologize to Dave Burkett and to you, our audience, for not being able to get that phone call in. Really sorry about it. We'll try to be better and try to figure that out. Really apologize. I would have loved to have heard what he had to say, but we're going to continue along here in the show, Braylon. And I want to get back to local sports here in Detroit. Red Wings play a hockey game tonight that is, again, every time they play hockey will be one of the biggest games that they've played in a decade. And tonight's game is huge. If they beat the Penguins in regulation, they will have a 44% chance to make the playoffs. If they beat them in regulation, and then the percentages are minimized, if they win in OT, and if they lose, it's over. Yeah. Sure, there are percentages, but if they lose, it's over. They have got to win tonight.
They've got to win tonight, man. And you need to see the guys like Dylan Kane. Obviously my boy Dylan Larkin, but Patrick Kane. You got to see the brink. You got to see these guys step up. You got to see these guys because the more and more I look back at the loss to the Caps, and I came up here and said I wasn't as mad because of the shots on goal. You're still disappointed because you had game in hand. You didn't go out there. You didn't seal the deal. So here you are thrust into another situation where you got to win, but you got to win for 44%. I don't want to hear anything about overtime. I need the Stars to come out. Just as well, we talk about how much this means to us in the city of Detroit, what it means to the Iser plan and us trusting it. You guys got to come out and play like you want it. Like, I need to see everybody I need to see people doing what the hell they're supposed to be doing. Because at the same time, you got it right there. It's within your grasp. Just go out there and play like you know you. Play like we saw earlier. Like when we started the season, we saw what type of team this can be. Play like you did, 6 weeks ago. Play like the team we know you are. You got to come out and play tonight. I'd be pissed if they lost.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things too where everybody was so amped up.
Atmosphere was crazy.
LCA was ready to explode the other night. You're playing a team that lost 6 straight coming in. You don't need help from anybody, and you fall flat. Well, okay, it didn't work out. Now you have another opportunity, and it is not over. But like I said, this is a must-win game tonight. Your confidence level heading into tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Keep in mind, the other side still has Sidney Crosby.
I don't have any. I don't have any. Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I don't have any because every time you trust this Wings team, what do they do to you? We've been hyping up the Wings all year long. Even when they went on the 0-7 skid, we still said they'll make the playoffs. It'll be a struggle, but they'll get in there. I'm now at the point where I want them to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs. But with the confidence level, every time I get excited, what do? They drop one. So percent chances, if I'm being honest, 37%. But I hope I'm wrong.
Well, if they win, the number speaks for itself. It's 44% that they make the playoffs. If they win in overtime, at least get a point, it only drops to 38.5%. And they still have 3 games remaining after that. There's still hope, but they got to get a point tonight. It'd be great to get a win, but you're on the road against the same kind of team, a desperate team that wants to make the playoffs. Not as desperate as the Red Wings.
They're not going to beat Toronto if they lose this one.
Well, yeah, Toronto's going to be waiting for them. Montreal's playing better. They're going to be waiting for them. Montreal's out. They got nothing to play for. But the Wings got to get a point tonight. The other night, they tried their best, and they got beat by Ovechkin. You can't give up late goals. You need your goalie to stand on his head. Tonight's that night.
And by the way, everybody is in action tonight.
Yep.
The Washington Capitals in action at Buffalo. You've got the Philadelphia Flyers, who have 83 points. They're still in the thick of things. They play at the Rangers. The Red Wings and Penguins face each other. And then the Islanders, who sit in third place, they are in action against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Montreal is, I think, what a lot of people are expecting the Wings to have 2 automatic wins and a home-and-home with them and this, that, and the other thing. So we'll see what happens with the Islanders. But, yeah, man, it just win. I hate to be so simplistic, but just win.
That's all you got to do, man. Once again, I told the story about having that destiny in the NFL, man, it didn't work out. And you just see the emotions are high in terms of you're so up because you know you're in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden you're not, and you're trying to get into the playoffs. You can't lose another one because all you're going to do is press more and more. They're going to really be pressing this game. Look for them to come out and be pressing. I'm not saying it's going to be a good type of press, but they're going to be pressing. You're going to notice the difference in this game and last game. And if they lose this game somehow, then that energy, they won't even have enough to finish the season and get in the playoffs. They won't be able to beat Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they won't be able to finish off the last 2 games. The team that stinks because the emotion's gone.
Well, they got to play good tonight. If they play well tonight and can get a point, they're alive. If they play well tonight and get shut out and do not get a win, they still got 3 games. As long as they show me that they're dominating the ice is tilting in their favor. It's got to go their way eventually. And I was talking about this the other day, getting off the Wings for a second. I was like, what is the NHL doing with this Arizona Coyotes team? They're a team with no home. They play in like a gymnasium.
Their market sucks.
It's amazing what this team has had to go through in the last 10 years, getting kicked out of their arena because their owners don't pay the bills, vice versa. The NHL takes over the team. So here's the scoop. At the end of this hockey season, on April 18th, you could bet your bottom dollar they are getting relocated, not to Quebec like everyone thought they'd be, but they're going to go to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is going to get a hockey team, and it's going to happen on April the 18th. and it's going to be $3 billion? What did I put up here? $1 billion. That's what the owner of the Coyotes is going to get. For some reason, he's still going to get paid $1 billion. And then the Salt Lake owner will pay $1.3 billion. So that $3 million will be split up amongst
$300 million.
$300 million will be split up amongst the NHL team. But the Coyotes will have a new home next season, and it's about time they did something. Same thing that's happening with the poor Oakland A's, except the Oakland A's owners ruined that on their own.
Doesn't he have to win a land bet in order to get the team in Vegas? Like the Oakland.
What Dan Dickerson told us about the Oakland A's is they need, I don't know, $3 billion, I think, and they don't even have $1 billion of that $3 billion.
Yeah, they need like $1 billion down payment.
They need a down payment that they can't even get.
The biggest problem is like some of these hockey teams aren't in hockey markets, man. Like the Phoenix Coyotes, there's no market in this. This is expansion.
It was a market.
Yeah, but not like that.
Wayne Gretzky's the reason that hockey
I
is all
understand that because he
down
went to
south.
the LA Kings.
I have completely flipped my thought process on cities footing the bill for these leagues now.
California don't allow it.
In the past, I was for it.
Right.
Because of all of
opportunity,
the jobs and the opportunity and the city of Detroit builds a stadium for you. Everybody comes to that stadium. Everybody gets the benefit of that stadium. But these sports owners in these sports leagues, the money is just out of control. They can fund their own buildings. Let them keep all the profits. Give them a few tax breaks. But, I mean, you should not have to spend taxpayer money to fund a stadium any longer. The money is just way too out of control. This isn't 1995. This isn't 2000. Hell, this isn't 2010.
How much did Detroit foot for Little Caesars? A lot, right?
Too much.
Yeah, a lot.
Too much.
And rich owners that have the money, that's why they're rich. That's why they're rich.
Yep.
The only guy that really had to pick up and do his own thing was the guy that owns the Rams and the Avalanche. What the heck's his name? Who's the Rams owner?
Oh, Steve Kroenke. Stan Kroenke.
Stan Kroenke.
Yeah.
Put up his own money and built SoFi Stadium.
Right.
And tell me he's not tripled that already.
Right.
Or 10 times that amount already.
Yep.
Yeah,
everything is his. Parking, food, everything. What's so hard about it? You're an owner of a franchise. What is so hard about footing a bill and building a stadium where you're going to make that money back inside of a year?
Mm-hmm.
I never understood it, but I was always for the city kicking in a little bit.
I was too.
Yeah.
I was too. And I think there's ways you can kick in by, tax breaks and tax benefits and stuff like that because you are adding value to your city. People are coming to your city. But to take money and hand it over to build, no.
You got a nickname for the new Utah team, the new Salt Lake team? Who? Let's see what the chat has to say.
How about the Hilltoppers?
Who wants the Hilltoppers? All right. Who wants to rename the Arizona Coyotes who are going to move to Salt Lake City? Now, will they be Salt Lake or will they be Utah?
They ski in Salt Lake City, so maybe cool.
Slopes.
It's going to look good.
Hey.
I mean, Salt Lake.
People going to take that one the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Come on, man.
You set me up.
You're funny.
Hey, Utah kept the Jazz name. They came from New Orleans, and they kept the Jazz name.
There's no Jazz anywhere in Utah.
Is there any Coyotes?
Which is the funniest thing ever.
Are there any
There's
Coyotes
no
in
anywhere.
Utah?
Well, there's no lakes in California either.
Right, the Minneapolis
The
Lakers.
Minneapolis Lakers. Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes.
That's
This
right.
is true. Although we have more lakes than them, which is crazy.
The Atlanta Flames are the Calgary Flames, right?
Calgary Flames.
What are the Flames anyway?
What do you mean?
Like
when
the
city of
Atlanta
Flames.
Flames.
When the Atlanta city burned down.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was a great logo, and the Calgary logo is equally as good. Almost as good.
Maybe you can incorporate the Olympics, something the rings.
I love team nicknames and looking at the history
Salt Lake City.
of nicknames. It's just so cool. You look at that Red Wing, you see that tire with the wing on it. It's so.
What do you mean?
Cool.
What do you mean? I'm tired.
What do you mean? I'm tired.
Guys, speaking of, no, that doesn't work for a transition. But I did want to say today that the Detroit Tigers game was postponed due to rain, just all-day rain. I'm not even sure they get in tomorrow. I mean, there's supposed to be rain all day tomorrow,
It's
too.
an ugly day, man.
But today's game is going to be played as part of a straight doubleheader on Saturday. If you have tickets to today's game, they are not good for Saturday. Only Saturday's tickets are good for Saturday, but you can exchange your tickets today for any game you want. So
you can go Saturday
if you want to go Saturday, you can exchange your tickets for Saturday's tickets, but you've got to go through a process to do that. Just don't show up to Comerica Park with today's ticket stub.
So with straight doubleheader, does that mean you could stay for 2 games?
Yes.
Wow. So like the old days.
Yes. One game. Saturday's game ticket gets you 2 games.
Ooh.
You going to be going to the stadium?
No, I'm going to be in Grand Valley this weekend.
Oh.
Going to visit Abby.
What's going on in Grand Valley?
Check it out. Abby's got some Parents' Day going on over there, so got to go visit my girl.
I'll be in Grand Rapids on Sunday.
You will. I'll beat you by a day.
You'll beat me by a day.
What are you doing?
Me and my girl are taking her daughter and her best friend to go see AJR.
Okay.
Some group that the kids love.
I know that group.
I'm about to say about your age range because Miley's 15. So we're going up there, but we're not going to the concert. So we're like, get some food, catch a movie while we wait for him.
Right.
I love it.
Hey, let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll go through the NFL. We'll go around the NFL. Dr. Jeff Pierce going to join us today as well. So lots to get to today on a busy Thursday. But first, a message from Pete Spivak.
Buddy, what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys, and especially people like myself, one thing.
Stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology that's backed by people who have been proven to work, and that technology has been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings. From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan and Jerome Bettis, the Bus Stops Here Foundation, is proud to present the 3C Sports Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, and coaches in our local communities, featuring impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, and Adam Schefter, April 24th through the 26th. For more information and tickets, we have a QR code that we will, right there on your screen, right there. How about that? We got it up. Check that out. Great initiative. And we will talk to the bus next week.
We hope on the bus. Go round and round.
Right, absolutely.
Don't forget, next Thursday is a uniform
reveal day.
Bray might be there at Ford Field.
We got the tickets. I think we'll be there.
Look at that.
I think we'll be there.
Start you off.
Tom Mazaway, let's go around the NFL, bud.
Speaking of our Lions, there's a bunch of them that have new numbers. So we like to keep you up to date. Here they are, right? I'll let you tell them. This is by, the third. Who put this out here? Lions fan report.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Broderick Martin goes from 98 to 99. Antoine Green, the 7th round draft pick last year, goes from 80 to 18. Zonovan Knight, 27. Nate Sudfeld, who cares? And Hendon Hooker goes from 12 to 2. I'm surprised that J-Mo did not take number 1.
Me too.
Number 1 is still out there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want the Cam Sutton feel.
Yeah, maybe he wants to stick with 9. Like he feels like he's caught 2 touchdowns with 9. He's starting to make himself known. So maybe he's gonna stick with that. But let me just put that back up there, Pete. Let's see what you got. Put that back up there. The Broderick Martin one I get 99. When you look at the, I guess like if you're gonna change 99, you got to be a boss. Like, you got to be out there getting to the quarterback. I need to see some action. If you're gonna change your jersey number, this means that not only are you gonna play, you're gonna be a viable part of what the Detroit Lions do. Antoine Green, I didn't even know he still was on the team.
Right.
But the fact that he's changed,
I did not know that either.
I swear I didn't. Maybe they like what they're seeing out of Antoine Green. They didn't go get another wide receiver yet.
I'd rather be 80 than 18.
I'd rather be 18 than 80 in this day and age. But I don't know. But Zonovan Knight, 27 is a better running back number. I like that. Like you said about Nate Sudfeld, who cares? And Hendon Hooker, I do like 2 over 12. So
he didn't look like a 12.
He didn't.
He didn't look like a 12.
He didn't. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna change the number, you better do something.
So here we go. Let me keep going here. Artificial intelligence, you know it as AI, Grok, predicting the Lions and the Texans in the next Super Bowl. How about that, huh?
It's interesting,
Artificial intelligence has the Texans and the Lions in the next Super Bowl. I'm here for it.
Artificial intelligence.
I'm here for it.
We're just in this weird place now.
That would be 2 of the 4 franchises that never made it to the Super Bowl, right?
That's right. How about that?
How likely would that be to have 2 franchises in the same year not make it or make it to a Super Bowl? Right.
It's a long shot.
Yeah.
You bet those odds now.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, man, the way these 2 teams are performing, the way they're building, you see it. You see what the GMs down there doing in Houston. That Texas team is making some tremendous strides, big moves, and the same here in Detroit, Brad Holmes. So, I mean, it sounds crazy, but if we're being honest, it's not.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. In 2 weeks, you got the draft. Next week, you got the uniform reveal. Here's what the draft is starting to look like downtown. It's starting to take shape. Nice stage is going up.
So that stage is essentially at the Midway.
I think so.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Campus Martius right in front of the CompuWare building.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's where I thought
it would be by the skating rink.
There's just not enough space
It's
there.
massive.
So where is it?
It's off to the right where that Midway, remember when we did the Midway games?
Yes.
It's right there. You know where the Barry Sanders statue was? Off to the left of that.
So the billboard of Barry.
Yeah,
where
the
that
billboard
was,
of
on the
Barry.
building.
That's essentially right.
Okay.
Because it's on the same street as CompuWare.
maybe Washington
further
off of
back.
Woodward?
Yeah. Same street as CompuWare, further back. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it starts at Broadway.
I'll tell you, man. I don't know how they're going to fit all these people down in that area.
I really don't either, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, I mean, I just don't know where everybody is going to park.
Exactly.
I think that is a huge problem in the city. Huge problem.
Are they going to charge $150 a car, these lots?
Probably.
Are they going to let them do that?
Well, they can. It's privately owned parking lots.
Jeez.
You know, they are privately.
It's terrible.
Yeah, they are privately owned parking lots, but I don't even know where you can go. I don't know where the road closures are. There's a lot I don't know. I talked to a director of NFL events today on Fox 2 earlier. She joined us, and man, they have this thing dialed in from Hart Plaza to Campus Martius, just every aspect of this. And this is the 10th year of the draft since it's been taken on the road. From 1965 to 2014, the NFL draft was held in New York City at a couple of different locations in New York City. Braylon, I don't know, were you at the Marriott Marquis or were you at the Radio City or?
We were at the Javits Center.
Oh, okay.
In New York.
Okay,
They had us at the Javits Center.
Yeah, so
I was pissed it wasn't at Radio City.
Yeah, that's exactly. So and then in 2015 it began traveling. And just to put this in perspective as well, and I've long believed that hosting the NFL draft is the second biggest event that your city can host. Of course, not the Olympics. I'm just talking about American sports that travel. Other than the Super Bowl, this is number 2, and I think I'm right about that.
You are.
And I think the numbers back me up on that. Just last weekend in Phoenix, Arizona, for the Final Four, there were 146,000 people. In Philadelphia, for a 2-night WrestleMania, people from all over the world, 140,000 people.
Yeah.
There's going to be close to 500,000 people downtown, maybe even more than that.
I mean, Chicago, you don't think they're gonna be here in droves?
Well, I mean, not only Chicago, but if you look at where we are on
There's
the
a
map,
lot of close proximity franchises. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh,
But
Cleveland.
Chicago's on the clock.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah.
Twice.
And they got 2 picks. They are on the clock. They only have 4 picks.
So how
2
many-
are in the top 9.
Yeah.
Here's a good question, Ryan. How many thousand people do you think come from Chicago? Or how many? Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands?
How many people come from Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago alone.
I bet you 100,000
20,000
come.
people.
Got 20?
20,000.
Yeah. It's a good number.
That's a lot of
That's-
people
hell
in
yeah.
one area.
20,
You
yeah.
know?
20, 30.
20,000.
Cleveland will send up about 8.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Cincy,
Pittsburgh.
Green Bay.
Now, Green Bay's not that far.
Yeah.
Minnesota isn't terribly far if you like road trips.
I did. Drove through Minnesota 2 years
You
ago.
get 1,000 from Minnesota. Yeah.
All right, we'll continue on. How about opening weekend? You know it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't know who they're going to play yet, but we do know the game after the Thursday night opener is going to be Friday night.
Oh,
from
wait a
Brazil.
minute. Hold on a second. We got Eric Burrow coming in from Ohio.
Okay.
There we go.
Eric Burrow says he's coming in from Ohio.
There we go.
Look at that. Burn is coming from Wisconsin.
There we go. Green Bay.
How about that?
That's great.
There you go. Are you? Let me ask the chat. Are you guys coming in?
If so,
where are you
where?
going to be? Yeah, Bern, Indiana. 400 mil from Chicago. I don't know what he
Miles.
means by that. It's 262 miles to Chicago. Sorry, Baz. Continue. I just got excited for a minute. Wanted to include the chat.
Kilometers.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Anyway, the opening Friday night game is all set. It's from Brazil. It's going to be the Packers and the Eagles.
It's gonna be a
First
good
game in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
I like
They
this.
are excited.
I like this game in terms of it's going to let Detroit
Great
Lions
game.
fans know early how good that team is, talking about the Green Bay Packers and what you need to expect this year. We know they're good, but what do they do in the offseason? How do they get better? Because the Eagles very quietly have made some good moves, and they've gotten a lot better, or they have gotten a little bit better. But in terms of just being in Brazil, I'm never a fan of these places that are soccer-oriented places, man, because the fields are never right. You're sliding. The paint is never the right situation. Like, the dimensions are never right. I'm just not a fan of these games over in these places like that. Remember, how long did it take them to get it right in when they were over? Who were they in Europe? Paris.
Dude, it
takes forever. Germany last year.
It's just like baseball starting the season in Japan. I think weren't they in Japan? It's
Korea.
Like Korea.
The Packers and
Come on, man.
The Packers and the Eagles.
You're taking a Packers-Eagles game away from the people of Philadelphia or Green Bay, whoever's the home team.
That's what they do.
Come on, man.
We're going to lose a game next year.
So dumb. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what do you mean grow the game? Like, can the NFL get any bigger if it tried?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. You go.
Team's worth $12 billion.
It doesn't do anything to me for us.
Yeah.
Eventually, they'll probably farm a Super Bowl out, right? Let's face it.
Well, that's
and make us pay for it.
Death to the NFL.
Well, it
at
won't
that
be.
point.
It won't be.
There'll be a lot of people boycott that. It's an American. It's a fabric of America is the Super Bowl. You take that Super Bowl away from me, I might be gone forever.
You're not. Freddie Felt's coming over from Indiana. So we
Okay.
got some Indianapolis Colts fans.
Good.
Oh, I forgot
coming
Colts.
over.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
We forgot
Very
about
good.
that.
Colts are
We are in a great spot.
345.
No question about it.
You said you're done, Ryan.
I'm done. I might be done as
You're
a
not done.
NFL fan. If
You guys
take
are
a
all
Super
saying
You're
Bowl.
done with college football a minute ago.
Right.
How many
They
people
got me
quit?
back.
How many people quit because of the strike in baseball? Quit for the strikes in football?
A
They're all
lot
back.
of people.
They're all back.
Not in baseball.
No?
Not in baseball. I don't know. Just saying.
Fair enough.
All right, let me continue here. The NFL.
Yeah, Maz, you got a lot of NFL stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning in the NFL. I've come to an agreement, of course. The Manning brothers are going to be on TV a lot more. Omaha Productions and the NFL reach a 9-year extension. So there's going to be plenty of more Peyton and Eli, probably Cooper as well, probably Archie and Mom as well.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I was flipping through the channels last night, and I saw Kevin Hart
the best,
do some NBA thing.
He interviewed Dirk Nowitzki.
It was so what the Mannings have done is ingenious, really.
Can I say something?
Please.
Intersect because it starts before that.
Please.
Always copyright your stuff. Whatever you have, always copyright it. Always I'm telling you, always do a DOA or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Always do one of those because this was an idea from Fox Sports. The Manning cast, it was an idea from Fox Sports that they bought to the Mannings. I think I told you guys before. They bought it to the Mannings and said, this is what we want to do. Want to do this with you. What do you think about it? They said, well, let us take some time to get back to you. They never got back to him. They took it to ESPN.
Wow.
And now they just signed a
I didn't know
9-year
that.
deal with ESPN for that be a total of 11 years. Always copyright your stuff. Because that was a Fox Sports created that.
That's wild.
I'll be damned.
I watch a couple of times. It does nothing for me.
Don't do it for me.
Like I'd much rather listen to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Absolutely.
And I know that anything big that happens, I will see in a clip.
Yeah, true. Like
any viral
The Rock
moment
or somebody been there.
The best part of it, I will see it. I will be fine. I am not a third-party viewer watcher.
Look at the college football national championship. Remember how he spread that out?
Yeah.
Around 4 or 5 channels. You can watch just the Michigan broadcasters. You can watch just the USC broadcasters. You can watch Peyton Manning and Reggie Bush talking. And then of course on the weekend, the women's game, they had the Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi thing. I mean,
they're a bit much.
I'm not watching that.
The language and the sneaky things they say and like the odes, it's like, all right.
By the way, speaking of the women's game, just quickly, did you see Caitlin Clark? What she did for Iowa basketball?
Yep. She made him a lot of money.
Made him $82 million. And last year, the
merchant ticket sales.
Yep. And just the economy, local economy. Last year, the Indiana Fever had one nationally televised game. This year, the Indiana Fever, who have the number 1 pick of the draft, will have 36 of their 40 games played on national television.
Did you see the prices? All you got to do to figure out when Caitlin comes to your city, tickets are usually like $10, $15, $20. Boom, boom, boom. 150. 400 when they play in Madison Square Garden. $400 tickets.
Wow.
Like, that's the effect that she's going to have.
And you know who hates that the most?
Women.
Other women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why should she be
Other
better
women,
than me?
Other
Why should
women
she do
basketball
better than me?
players. Other
She wear
Sue
that.
Bird hates it.
She's not that
Diana
good.
Taurasi
Hates it.
She can just shoot. She can't do anything when she's defended. Hate her.
Oh,
It's
man.
so
Caddy.
It is so
Caddy.
bad.
Hey,
All right.
I got another one
Yeah,
here.
one more.
Rashee Rice. There is a warrant out for his
He's in
arrest.
trouble, buddy.
He's got 8 felony counts against him, guys.
Did anybody get hurt in that?
Nobody got seriously injured,
Okay.
but it's about the things that were in the vehicle and other things they've determined.
Kid's
Like,
in trouble. Could
Yeah.
lose his contract.
yeah, weed in the car. It was a gun. It was it's
This is a kid that was on. He was going to be the number 1 receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs
it's not worth it.
next season.
It's
And
not.
Look what him and his dumb friends did. The guy that drove the Corvette, he's got 8 charges against him as well.
So now what does KC do at 30? Because they pick right
they're
behind him.
taking a receiver.
Xavier
but-
Leggett.
So now do you also get one in free agency?
They might, if there's anyone left. Maybe T. Higgins.
I'm not mad at it. T. Higgins is better than Rashee Rice anyway. You pay T. Higgins and you draft Xavier Leggett.
I don't know if they could pay. You got to remember, Rashee Rice is on a second round.
Yeah, it's true.
Or a rookie second-round pick contract.
True.
T. Higgins getting $30 million.
No, he's not getting 30.
28, 26,
24, 25. 25.
Still more than
a lot of cheese.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll talk to Dr. Pierce coming up next. But first, a message from Braylon Edwards.
He's Bray.
Oh. Man, you got to, tell me. Stop doing that. What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? The answer is nothing. And also, the Nashville Hot is back at Soroki's talking about the Nashville Hot pizza, the wings, the tenders, and the chicken sandwich and fries. That's right. They got Nashville Hot fries as well. A perfect takeout option featuring hair-breaded chicken, as I just mentioned, and also New York-style pizza, fresh salads, and sides. Check out their full menu. Check out Soroki's near you. There are 10 in Metropolitan Michigan, and also it is SAROIKIS.com. Crispy chicken.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. A
ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Comes to Shake Shack sandwiches. I have a sleeper. I'm talking about chicken sandwich, and that's the Chicken Shack Shake Shack sandwich. It's the Shake Shack from Chicken Shack. Try it now with a $10 purchase and code word Woodward. You get a free one. So all you gotta do, $10 purchase, and then you get a chicken sandwich free. It is crispy. It is crinkly. You enjoy the fries as well at Shake Shack. Woodward Sports and Shake Shack. Now that's how you do it.
Doubt about it. Hey, welcome in. It is time for our weekly chat with our good buddy, WSN Injury Insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, the Michigan Sports and Spine Center in Livonia. Dr. Pierce, how you doing, young man?
Great. How are you guys?
Feeling like $1 million.
The two of you look like you've been on vacation.
We have
been.
Relaxed. Look at that.
Got a chance to go to North Carolina, as I told you last week. It was wonderful. But you also got a chance to go somewhere. Where'd you go, Doc?
I did a little whirlwind tour.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Really? All right. So, opening day on Friday.
Okay.
Wake up Saturday morning, fly to Louisiana, New Orleans for the first Kid Rock Jason Aldean Festival.
Get out of here.
Which I was a part of. I'm the medical consultant for the festival.
Look at you.
And spent the day in New Orleans.
So you just get to chill. You just get to chill.
Went to the concert in Gonzales, Louisiana, which I thought was literally in the middle of nowhere. It's 20 minutes from Baton Rouge, 40 minutes from New Orleans.
Wow.
Okay.
Dude, it was amazing. It was the first time out. They had 25,000 people.
I saw some clips from that.
Yeah. But it was nice. I mean, I did this on McCarty's show, too. I don't want to get all political and all that, but it was nice to see Go America again.
Right.
You know, the Patriots, the veterans being respected, stand up, good old, you know, not crapping on America. Like, it was good old boys, good messaging. God bless America. You know, it was nice.
It's almost sad that you have to say, I don't want to get political, but it was nice to see Go America.
Right. It is. I mean, from a medical,
think about that for a second. You know, I have to preface this with Go America. It's okay. USA, USA, right?
It is. I mean, that's what it was. And,
right.
You know, Kid Rock, love him or hate him,
North Carolina.
he's saying it. And we got to sit. You know, obviously we hung out after, and he felt so good about it that he's making a difference. You know, I'm bringing it to the people that deserve it. You know, and the veterans. Whatever. We'll have a whole topic on veterans because of our paralyzed veterans and everything else that I'm personally involved with. And then wake up. Actually, didn't go to sleep. 6 a.m. flight. Miami did the live tournament.
This live tournament, how was that? Because they play 54 hole tournaments, right? So they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it.
And they wear whatever they want.
Yeah,
but they got to have their team shirts on, team hat. It was cool. It's a cool concept. I get it. It's a party. You know, Trump was there all day on Sunday in his membership area where, you know, you got to pay to play. There's a Studio 54 tent. You know, the old, you're too young.
Maybe. I know about Studio 54.
I know about Studio 54.
All right, so Studio 54.
Two guys from Syracuse.
What?
Two kids from Syracuse started it.
Oh, in New York? Yeah. Where are they now?
Dead.
One started, one's dead, and the other one's, true. One's dead, and the other one started the W Hotel, like the designing for the boutique hotels. So he made out like a bandit.
I didn't know that.
I'm full of random knowledge.
You do have good knowledge. So we did that. We'll do it short, and then we did the Live Nation Tortuga in Fort Lauderdale, which was a beautiful night. Jason Aldean was there. It was just a great night. You know, shout out to Live Nation. They always do a great job, and it's just professional, cool, and
that's so cool, man. That is so cool. I love that.
So that was my weekend.
That sounds pretty good. We'll get into some injury news here. Over the last couple of days, a big scare in Milwaukee in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo just kind of jogging down the floor, stops, and it looked like everybody immediately thought he tore his ACL. He did not.
No, his Achilles.
His Achilles. But yeah, take it from here, Doc. He did not, though, thankfully.
You know, this did concern me, but it was actually a great teaching moment. So if you really know what was going on with Giannis stated the day before that morning that he's going to play through a hamstring injury because I want to make sure we stay at the number 2 position. I'm going to be there supporting the team. I don't want to fall down to 3. So it points to a lot of things that I bring out when the body's out of whack. You know, just use out of whack as the medical term right now. But if his hamstring's hurting, his buttocks is hurting, his glutes, they're tightening up, that means he's got to change his mechanics. So when he changes mechanics, he's putting more pressure from the knee down. So he didn't tear it, but he strained it, right? So he looks
strained
like a
calf.
Yep. Yeah. So they call it a tenosynovitis or tendinosis. So I was watching ESPN that morning, which I think was yesterday morning, and they go, there's no doctor in the house, you have to ask a football player what all this means. So that was the gimmick. I'm like, I'm right here, just call. But the point is that when his mechanics were off, it put more pressure on his calf or from the knee down. So it was the same side. The hamstring was a pull. Fortunately, it's not a tear, but again, he's putting more stress on different parts of his body to compensate for the bad hamstring. So the good news is, I didn't know what you want to talk about, but I wanted to point out when your mechanics are off, as listeners or whoever's out there, you gotta take care of it. I always use the example of a car will go down the road with 4 wheels on it. If one thing's out of a line, you're still gonna get from point A to point B, but you're wearing differently and you're gonna compensate somewhere. So that's what's going on here. He's compensating somewhere and he paid for it. He didn't get through it. So it might be a blessing that he kind of injured now. He'll rehab properly and be stronger for the for the tournament.
Yeah, there's 4 games left of the regular season. He'll sit those 4 games in rehab. Braylon.
Great example is just KD when he was with the Warriors, when he tore his Achilles, when he was playing, when he tried to come back, he forced the issue of coming back. He was hurt already, knew he shouldn't have played. But when your body is hurting, for lack of a better word, man, like your body, like you said, it overcompensates, it rotates. You no longer run so hard this way. You try to run light on this side and gingerly, if you will. Eventually, it catches up to you. Now, that's the best thing is to sit out, but this is another one of those situations where you get people complaining about load management, or you get people that are pissed if you're not in this game. That's when the argument from players comes in about load management. You knew you could not have showed. I'm not gonna say you should not have played the game, but you knew you probably could have took a game off right there. Then it would have been a lot better moving into the next round. But he played. Now he's overcompensating. Now he's hurt.
Yeah, I love having hindsight, but there's a lot of guys who play. They get through it, and we don't hear about it.
Right.
This one we hear about. KD, we hear about it.
Yeah.
The overall message, and I've said it, depends where you are in the season, right? Early season, he's sitting out. Late season, we're got to get ready for playoffs. Would he second guess himself right now? Absolutely.
Sure.
But, can we predict the future? No. If I did, I'd be doing, real well.
Yeah, I won't be here.
No doubt.
Not just scores.
None of us would be sitting here.
What's it? So he's got a strained calf. What's that recovery like? Do you get 100% like over the next couple of weeks to play in the playoffs?
He's going to be probably in that 90%. He's gonna feel it. He'll have, like I say, the secret sauce. He'll probably get it taped up, some type of support. He wear the compression garment just to create. But what is it? It's an irritation. It's an inflammation within the tendon. So you have the muscle. You have the big gastroc muscle, which is the back of your leg, and then that thins down to the Achilles, to the back of your foot. So the Achilles, I don't know exactly. I think it's just above where the tendon starts thickening. So you have a little tendon between all the creams and the sauces and the potential laser treatment and stuff like that. They should be able to get him healthy from an inflammation standpoint. Then it's a matter of him strengthening appropriately. So his first step may be a step slow.
100% it will be.
Let me ask you about another big topic this week, Doc, and that is all the arm injuries in baseball. Shane Bieber, the ace of the Cleveland Guardians, out of the blue, needs Tommy John surgery. Justin Verlander was asked, because this is a number of pitchers now early in the season. Casey Mize, Tigers pitcher, just came back from after being out for 2 years because of an arm injury. Tarek Skubal came back last year after an arm injury. So many arm injuries to pitchers, specifically young pitchers, in today's game.
Here's a stat.
What's that?
There were more Tommy Johns in the last 2 seasons than there were in the whole decade of the 90s.
Really?
100%.
That is incredible. What do you make that to? What do you attribute that to?
We talked about this also. It's I'm not sure. I mean, I know, Justin, what you said, we talked about earlier. Is it sports specific? Is it because they're not cross training? Is it because they're not taking proper care of their body, proper dynamic warm ups and stuff like that? All that plays a role. But also the competition is harder. They're throwing maybe harder as a younger player through high school, through college, through AAA, whatever they're doing. They're out to prove it because it is getting competitive. It's turning more into a business. And are we rehabbing them properly to keep them healthy? We're assuming they're young, they can do rotations, all that. That's not necessarily true, right? So if you're doing stuff, there's an overuse. It's more of an overuse issue, not a trauma issue. It's not like they're having collision. It's all that use in the mechanics. And when the mechanics are off slightly and you're just throwing as hard as you can because you want to hit that 90 to 100, because if you can throw over 100, you got a contract, right? So with control, so what they're doing is they're putting more stress on young, I don't know where their puberty hit, but you're starting to create weaknesses in that area. So if those ligaments aren't developing appropriately, like with a cross training, where if you're just throwing, eventually you only get so many turns. So there's a couple ways to look at overuse. You'll only get so many turns on that shoulder, that elbow, that ligament rolling over the ulnar bone, things like that. That's part of it. Are they respecting their body? Are they recovering? Did they have proper, we do pitch counts now. Are we watching the pitch count? Are we throwing different mechanics and different junk that they're doing? So there's a lot of factors. Is there one thing to point to? No. But I think overall, this is going to slow down. Like I used the example with McCarty. This is when we started seeing a lot of sports hernias, right? We're going to change the way they're addressing it because this is a big issue. When you pull out a stat, we've had more Tommy John surgeries in the last 2 years than we did in the last decade. That gets to the trainers, that gets to the agents, to everybody. Anybody that's involved, what can we do to change that? And then we change the training mechanism of sport. How many times do you hear a sports hernia now? Remember back in, I forget, early, mid-2000s,
everything was sports hernia
than ever.
Everything was sports hernia.
Yeah, or ACLs in women's basketball. We changed the training, we changed the method, we changed the preseason warm-up. So a lot of things are going to be addressed to this to prevent it. They also brought up the thing about the pitch count, not just the pitch count, the
clock.
timer,
Yeah.
the clock. That's putting more stress to, they might be pushing it a little bit quicker on those mechanics, which probably is playing a role, but they should also be training their body to do that. So do we lower the pitch count because of the pitch clock? The pitch time, I got it straight.
it's a mouthful, Doc.
Yeah.
So, is that something that's going to be looked at? I'm sure it's going to be looked at. Then you're getting players union involved. So there's there's the political, but at the end of the day, what's mechanically right for them, it has to be looked at. All those things I think are playing a role. And there may be better ways to evaluate, like Otani. He actually did PRP. I don't know if you guys know this. He did PRP into his elbow for prevention of Tommy John. And he still had an issue. So there's regenerative stuff that's being looked at for being proactive, preventative too.
Talking about changing strategies, big week in golf. Masters is coming up. Masters played at Augusta, the hilliest terrain, if you will, on tour. Tiger Woods is going to play day one. What are the chances that he changed his strategy? He is playing better golf right now, that he can able to finish. Last year he withdrew. The year before that he withdrew. And a lot of outings last year he withdrew. So, I'm a Tiger guy, as is most everybody in here. What are the chances he's changed his strategy enough to be able to deal with the terrain? Because that's what gets his knees.
Well, I love Tiger. I always use him as a big example. I could do a couple shows just on Tiger's injuries.
Yep.
But you already know he's changed his strategy. He's changed his approach.
100%.
He's like there was a piece I saw yesterday about him on Instagram where he's teaching Scotty and Tommy Fleetwood.
I saw that about the hitting out of the rough, the 5-wood.
Chop out with the 5-wood.
Yep.
So he's not just swinging that iron like he used to. It's like, how do I get 170 out of my 5-iron now? I've lost my pride. I can hit 170 with a 5-iron, not my my wedge.
Right. Well, that's true.
So right there proves that he's approaching the game differently. I think mechanically he's looking at it, but also fatigue factor, right? He was sick that one time. I think he was sick last year at the Masters also. So his body, he's got a lot of things he's fighting besides his pride.
That's the biggest fight.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's the most competitive athlete that one of the most top 5.
I mean, he was doing Navy SEALs training as a golfer.
The all-time greats usually are, right?
Yeah. Right, you're doing something extra.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I love to see him, but I don't want to see him out of pride hurt himself. I think he made the right decision last year to bow out. The game wasn't there for him. But I think he's learned from that. I think he's dropped his pride level down a little bit to say, another Kid Rock story with Jack. Jack's like, you don't have to play from the tips. You play where you accelerate your game. Because Kid Rock's, he's a young golfer playing with Jack, and he's like, are we playing from the tips? He goes, can you play from the tips? You play where you accelerate your game.
That's so
great.
You get the same score. You get the same score regardless.
That's right.
So I actually moved up one level.
You had so much fun last weekend. What are you doing this weekend, Doc? Come on. You traveling anywhere? Okay. You can tell us, but then you'd have to kill us.
Yeah, I'll tell you
We'll
later.
talk about it next week.
I'm meeting a buddy in Vegas that's
Okay.
Just some couple days gone.
19 doesn't beat 20. Just remember
Okay.
that.
But listen, Cranbrook lacrosse. I got to do a shout out for my son.
Sure.
Yesterday against UAD, 4 goals, 2 assists, eight score 8-6, and he was shadowed. The coach said to the defense, "I don't care where the ball is. Don't let that kid move. That number 22. Don't let him move." And he still scored the winning goal from behind the net. It was
unbelievable.
I could pull the video up, but I think that's a little obnoxious.
Good stuff.
Proud dad.
Absolutely, as well you should be. Dr. Pierce, thanks so much. We're going to talk to you next Thursday. Michigan Sports and Spine Center, michigansportsandspine.com. Bray, get us out of here, buddy.
Tiger Woods, we just talked about him. He tees off at 3:54. The current time is 3:54. So that is the show. For my man Silent Mike, Dr. Pierce, Pete Spivak, Tom Mazaway, who's hiding over there, my brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni. We are Ermanni Edwards with Maz. We appreciate you tuning in. Keep tuning in, and we'll keep getting better.
USA.
He's not political. We'll see you guys later.